microbladed can be a game changer to your makeup routine and your overall look.
But not when they heal to an undesirable color or shape. We've got Patty Willardson and Jamie Warner from 3D Brows joining us now to talk about this corrective procedure, because it's all the rage right now, but you can have a lot of mistakes with it.
Right. Well, I think microblading came in at such a huge pace in Utah that there were some pretty unqualified technicians out there actually performing the procedure. So I would say, Jamie, wouldn't you say a lot of our work that we see coming in is corrective work? And I think a lot of people out there get their brows done and they think if they're unhappy with them, they're stuck.
Let's talk about some of the mistakes that people have made when doing, I mean, what are you correcting out there?
Okay, so if they go too deep, they can heal ashy or dark, or you think you're getting a hair stroke brow and all of a sudden you wake up 4 weeks later and you're like, my brows are blurred together, they're powdery, they're gray. They're big, they're not what I wanted.
We have to remind folks, there is no regulation or people getting certified here in Utah, so you really have to do your homework.
Right, you have to ask for healed pictures, you have to see their work. I mean, get referrals from people who have been to them before. So,
all right, did you went and had your eyebrows microbladed, which they look beautiful.
Thank you.
Did you have corrective work done?
I haven't.
No.
But there are some things you say that maybe the color might be off a little bit, or maybe the stroke.
Right, so if somebody doesn't like their color, let's say that they've aged red, or let's say that after you've had them done, they turn gray. You're not stuck with it. There's corrective work out there. Let's say that so they're showing right now, that's somebody who came in and she had an aged brow. It turned red, so we corrected the color for her.
Oh, look at that. It really does make a difference, and her brow just needed an update.
Right, and so we can fix not just the color, but if they have a bad shape.
That's amazing transition here, because there's hope out there that if you're not happy with your brow, you can change it, you can correct it.
We could fix anything. I don't think there's anything that's walked through the door that we've been like, nah, we can't treat you.
Okay, let's talk about fixing it. How do you fix it?
So there's saline removal. There's places out there that do laser removal. Laser can't target every color, so it can't pull out red. If it hits white, it turns black. It'll oxidize it.
What's going on
here?
here?
So this is a picture. Somebody came into us. The top one is after she had her microblading done. Microblading, people think it's semi-permanent, that it isn't going to last very long. That took us, to get to that middle picture, it took us 10 sessions.
10 sessions?
You guys, 10 sessions, 12 weeks apart.
Oh my goodness.
So that was
That's
a
long time.
They went really deep on her. I mean, this was like a really solid tattoo. The bottom is what we got her to. So that's our work after
and the bottom
we
looks
removed
so
it.
pretty.
And it's natural looking, right? That's the biggest difference when I'm seeing the before and after. Before, during, and after.
Yes.
And is that saline removal?
That was saline removal.
So what is that process like? You said 12 times. What are you doing?
Jamie's our removal girl. She's awesome.
Jamie, how do you do it?
So we use a machine, and we use a saline solution, and we're just going over the eyebrow trying to suck that color out and remove it.
It's a tedious process.
Does it hurt?
Imagine.
You know what, we numb, so it doesn't,
okay.
Depending on the person. Some people will feel a bit more, but for the most part,
we keep you pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
You're over the person going, you know, girl, no pain, no gain. We're gonna get rid of these brows.
Yeah,
we're gonna make some good ones.
Sometimes, so sometimes they're sleeping through it.
It's not an overnight process, but it gets better every time. Every time you go in, it gets better and better.
Brows make such a difference on a person.
Huge.
We were talking about it's a game changer in your makeup. I mean, if you have your brows done, I mean, you don't have to do anything to your brows, do you?
It cuts the time. And really, eyebrows are such an identity thing for women. And it's a big deal.
Well, it shapes part of your face, too.
Oh,
that
it's
whole
a huge
upper area.
Yes.
Okay, so what did you do here?
So that was a removal. I think this picture was actually one that we weren't quite done yet, but that's just the process of removing bad microblading.
And you have to know you're going to have to be patient.
So this is our work. This is healed. That's what it should look like. So if you guys are looking for a technician, that's what you want to see the hair stroke. And I don't know if you can see it there, but
I can see
you
hair
could probably
strokes
zoom
there.
in a little bit.
It looks so good.
And that's the point. You don't want to know the difference between your actual hair and the hair stroke that you're doing. That's amazing
It should
work.
look as natural. You don't want somebody to look at you and be like, you got tattooed.
Right.
You want it to be natural.
If I want to get them, is it in one time or do I go back a couple of times?
Get them put on?
Yes.
So you'll go your first time, then you'll get your touch up, and then you do like yearly color boosts. So you have, it's like your hair. You don't get it done one time and then never go back.
You both have great brows, by the way. All three of you. Good job.
We can talk about eyebrows all day long, and in fact, Patty joined us for a little podcast that we did, a 30-minute podcast. You can learn much more about microblading in a new podcast podcast, me and McCall, our producer here at GTU, called Lucy and Gray. Listen at abc4.com/podcast, and you can learn so much more about microblading.
And you can get a free evaluation. Just email a photo of your brows without makeup to info@3dbrowsutah.com, and that's the 3dbrowsacademy.com and their phone number if you need to correct your eyebrows or just get new ones.
Yeah.
Right? Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next.